Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. In a world where everyone wants to speak, argue, and prove themselves, silence has become a rare power. Many people think strength comes from speaking loudly, defending themselves in every situation, or responding to every criticism. But truly wise people understand something different. Silence can often be more powerful than words. Silence protects your energy, controls your emotions, and gives you the ability to observe situations clearly. When used wisely, silence becomes one of the strongest tools for personal strength and success. In this video, we will explore powerful lessons about why silence can become your greatest weapon in life. Lesson 1. Silence protects your energy. One of the most powerful benefits of silence is that it protects your energy. Every day, people encounter many situations that try to pull them into unnecessary conversations, arguments, or emotional reactions. Someone may criticize you, disagree with you, misunderstand your actions, or try to provoke you. In these moments, many people feel the need to respond immediately. They want to explain themselves, defend their opinions, or prove that they are right. However, constantly reacting to everything around you consumes a huge amount of mental and emotional energy. Every argument takes time. Every explanation requires attention. Every emotional reaction drains your focus. If you respond to every comment, every criticism, and every opinion that people share about you, you will spend a large part of your life fighting small battles that do not truly matter. Wise individuals understand this truth. They realize that their energy is limited and valuable. Instead of wasting it on unnecessary conflicts, they choose carefully where to invest their attention. Silence becomes a powerful filter. When you remain silent in situations that do not deserve your response, you protect your peace of mind. For example, imagine someone speaking negatively about you or questioning your abilities. Your first reaction might be to defend yourself immediately. But often, these situations are driven by emotions rather than logic. If you react instantly, the conversation may turn into a long and unproductive argument. But if you remain silent and calm, the situation often loses its power. Silence prevents small conflicts from growing into larger problems. Another important advantage of silence is that it allows you to stay focused on your goals. People who waste their time arguing or responding to criticism often lose sight of what truly matters. Their attention becomes trapped in other people's opinions instead of their own progress. Successful individuals rarely waste time explaining themselves to everyone. They focus on their work, their growth, and their purpose. They understand that actions speak louder than words. Instead of responding to every comment, they allow their results to speak for them. Silence also protects emotional balance. When someone reacts emotionally to every situation, their mood becomes controlled by other people. A small criticism can ruin their day. A negative comment can distract them for hours. But when you learn the power of silence, you gain control over your emotional state. You stop allowing other people's words to control your peace. Silence also strengthens patience. When you choose not to react immediately, you give your mind time to think clearly. Many situations that feel important in the moment become insignificant after some time passes. This pause helps you avoid unnecessary stress. Another powerful effect of silence is that it prevents misunderstandings. Sometimes when people speak too quickly, they say things they later regret. Words spoken in anger or frustration can damage relationships and create lasting problems. But silence allows emotions to settle before speaking. By waiting and observing, you can choose your words more carefully when you finally decide to speak. This thoughtful communication creates stronger and more respectful relationships. Silence also helps you recognize which situations truly deserve your attention. Not every opinion requires a response. Not every criticism needs to be answered. Not every conflict deserves your time. When you learn to remain silent in unimportant situations, you save your energy for the things that truly matter. You become more focused, more calm, and more powerful in your actions. In the end, silence is not weakness. Silence is control. It shows that you are strong enough to choose your battles wisely. When you stop reacting to every small situation and begin protecting your energy through silence, you create more space for growth, focus, and success. And that quiet strength is one of the most powerful advantages a person can develop in life. Lesson 2. Silence shows emotional strength. Another powerful reason silence is a great weapon is that it shows emotional strength. Anyone can react quickly when they feel angry, hurt, or insulted. In fact, reacting immediately is the easiest thing to do. But controlling your reaction requires real strength. When someone says something negative about you, the natural response is to defend yourself or argue. People want to prove that they are right or show that the other person is wrong. However, reacting emotionally often makes the situation worse. Arguments grow larger, emotions become stronger, and both sides become more focused on winning the argument instead of understanding the situation. Wise individuals understand that reacting emotionally gives power to the other person. If someone insults you and you immediately become angry, that person has successfully controlled your emotions. But when you remain calm and silent, the situation changes. Your silence shows that you are not easily controlled. It shows that your emotions are under your control rather than someone else's influence. Emotional strength is the ability to remain calm even when situations become difficult. This strength does not mean ignoring your feelings completely. It means understanding your emotions but choosing not to react impulsively. For example, imagine someone criticizing your work in a harsh way. A person with weak emotional control may react immediately by arguing or defending themselves aggressively. This reaction can damage relationships and make the situation more stressful. But a person with emotional strength may choose to remain silent for a moment. Instead of reacting emotionally, they listen, observe, and think before responding. Sometimes they may choose not to respond at all. This calm reaction often surprises others. When someone expects a reaction but receives silence instead, the situation often loses its intensity. Silence can break the cycle of emotional conflict. Another important benefit of silence is that it allows your mind to stay clear. Strong emotions like anger or frustration can cloud judgment. When emotions become too strong, people may say things they regret later. But silence gives your mind time to calm down. With a calm mind, you can think more clearly and decide the best way to respond, if a response is even necessary. Silence also demonstrates confidence. People who constantly feel the need to defend themselves often appear insecure. They believe they must prove their worth in every conversation. But emotionally strong individuals do not feel this pressure. They understand that their value does not depend on winning every argument. Because of this confidence, they remain calm and composed even when others try to provoke them. This calm presence often earns respect. People naturally respect individuals who maintain self-control in difficult situations. Another powerful effect of silence is that it allows emotions to fade. Many conflicts are temporary. When people react immediately, the conflict grows stronger. But when someone chooses silence, the emotional tension often disappears with time. What seemed like a serious problem in the moment may feel unimportant later. Silence also protects your dignity. When you avoid emotional arguments, you prevent situations where harsh words or unnecessary insults might be exchanged. Your calm behavior shows maturity and discipline. Over time, this habit builds a reputation for wisdom and self-control. The truth is simple. Anyone can speak loudly or react quickly, but remaining calm and silent in difficult moments requires true emotional strength. Silence shows that you control your emotions instead of allowing emotions to control you. And when you develop this level of emotional discipline, you gain a powerful advantage in life and in your relationships with others. Lesson 3. Silence allows you to observe and understand. Another powerful reason silence can become your greatest weapon is that silence allows you to observe and understand people and situations more clearly. When a person speaks constantly, they often miss important details. Their attention is focused on expressing their own thoughts instead of listening and observing what is happening around them. But when you remain silent, something different happens. Your mind becomes more aware. You begin to notice small details that others often miss. You hear what people are saying more carefully, and you also observe their behavior, their tone, and their reactions. Observation is a powerful skill. Many people reveal their true character not through what they say intentionally, but through their actions, attitudes, and repeated patterns of behavior. When you stay quiet and observe, you gain valuable information about people. For example, in conversations, some people speak more than they listen. When someone talks continuously, they often reveal their opinions, beliefs, and intentions without realizing it. But the person who listens quietly learns much more about the situation. Silence creates space for understanding. Instead of reacting immediately, you allow your mind to analyze what is happening. You can notice whether someone is being honest or whether their words do not match their actions. This awareness helps you make better decisions about how to interact with others. Observation also helps you understand the emotions of people around you. Sometimes people may appear calm on the surface, but their tone of voice or body language may reveal frustration, stress, or insecurity. A person who speaks too quickly may miss these signals, but a silent observer can recognize them easily. This deeper understanding improves communication and relationships. Another advantage of silence is that it prevents unnecessary mistakes. When people speak too quickly, they sometimes reveal too much information about their plans, their thoughts, or their weaknesses. Others may use this information in ways that are not helpful. But when you choose silence, you maintain control over what you reveal. You protect your ideas, your plans, and your strategies. Many successful individuals use this principle. They speak carefully and reveal information only when necessary. Because of this, they remain in control of conversations and situations. Silence also helps you learn more effectively. When you listen more than you speak, you gain knowledge from other people's experiences, ideas, and perspectives. Even if you disagree with someone, listening carefully allows you to understand their point of view. This understanding can provide valuable insights. People who talk constantly often limit their learning because they are focused only on their own thoughts. But people who observe and listen expand their understanding of the world. Silence also gives your mind time to think. Instead of reacting instantly, you allow yourself a moment to consider different possibilities. You can evaluate whether a situation deserves your response, or whether it is better to remain calm and silent. This thoughtful pause often leads to wiser decisions. Another powerful benefit of silence is that it increases respect in conversations. People tend to listen more carefully when someone who usually remains quiet finally speaks. Because you do not speak constantly, your words carry more value. Over time, others begin to see you as thoughtful and observant. They recognize that when you speak, you have something meaningful to say. In the end, silence is not only about avoiding unnecessary words, it is about creating space for awareness. When you remain silent, you become an observer rather than a reactor. You see situations more clearly, understand people more deeply, and protect yourself from unnecessary mistakes. And this quiet awareness becomes one of the most powerful advantages you can develop in life. Lesson 4. Silence helps you avoid unnecessary conflict. Another powerful reason silence can be your greatest weapon is that it helps you avoid unnecessary conflict. In everyday life, many arguments and disagreements happen not because the problem is serious, but because people react too quickly with words. Sometimes a small comment, a misunderstanding, or a difference of opinion can quickly turn into a big argument. When both people keep responding emotionally, the conflict grows larger and larger. Words spoken in anger often make situations worse. Many people later regret what they said during heated arguments. In the moment, emotions take control, and people say things they do not truly mean. This is where silence becomes powerful. Silence breaks the cycle of emotional reactions. When someone says something negative or provocative, the natural reaction is to respond immediately. But if you choose silence instead of reacting right away, the situation often loses its intensity. The other person may expect an argument, but when they receive silence instead, the conflict cannot continue. Silence removes the fuel that keeps arguments alive. Wise individuals understand that not every disagreement needs to become a fight. Sometimes people speak out of frustration, stress, or misunderstanding. If you respond with the same emotional energy, the situation quickly becomes worse. But silence gives time for emotions to calm down. When emotions settle, people often realize that the issue was not as important as it first seemed. Another advantage of silence is that it allows you to maintain dignity. When people argue aggressively, they may insult each other or say hurtful things. These words can damage relationships and create long-lasting tension. By choosing silence, you protect yourself from saying something you might regret later. Your calm behavior also shows maturity. People respect individuals who can control themselves during difficult conversations. Another important reason silence avoids conflict is that it prevents misunderstandings from growing. Sometimes people misunderstand a comment or situation. If both sides react quickly without thinking, the misunderstanding becomes larger. But when you remain silent and calm, you give yourself time to understand the situation better. Later, if necessary, You can address the issue with clearer thinking and respectful communication. Silence also protects your mental peace. Arguments and conflicts often drain emotional energy. They create stress, frustration, and distraction. If someone spends too much time fighting small battles, they lose focus on the things that truly matter in life. Successful individuals understand that their peace of mind is valuable. They do not waste their energy arguing about every opinion or criticism. Instead, they choose carefully which situations deserve their attention. Another powerful aspect of silence is that it shows confidence. People who feel insecure often try to win every argument. They believe they must prove themselves in every conversation. But confident individuals do not feel this pressure. They understand that their value does not depend on winning every disagreement. Sometimes the strongest response is no response at all. Silence allows them to walk away from situations that do not deserve their time. Over time, this habit creates a calm and balanced personality. People begin to see you as someone who is thoughtful and controlled rather than reactive and emotional. The truth is simple. Many conflicts in life are temporary and unnecessary. When people react impulsively, these conflicts grow larger than they need to be. But silence gives you the power to stop that cycle. It allows emotions to settle, protects your dignity, and helps you maintain peace in difficult situations. And by mastering the ability to remain silent when necessary, you gain one of the most powerful tools for handling challenges in life. Lesson 5. Silence increases respect and influence. Another powerful reason silence can become your greatest weapon is that it increases respect and influence. In many situations, people who speak too much slowly lose the attention and respect of others. When someone constantly talks, argues, or explains everything, their words begin to lose value. People stop listening carefully because they know that person will keep speaking anyway. But individuals who use silence wisely create a completely different impression. When someone does not speak all the time, their words become more valuable. Others begin to listen more carefully when they finally choose to speak. This is because silence creates curiosity. When you speak less, people naturally become more interested in what you are thinking. They begin to pay closer attention to your words because they know you do not speak unnecessarily. This simple change can increase your influence in conversations. Think about respected leaders or thoughtful individuals you have met. Many of them do not talk constantly. Instead, they listen more than they speak. They observe the conversation carefully, and when they finally speak, their words are clear and meaningful. Because they do not waste words, people take their opinions seriously. Silence also shows confidence. People who constantly feel the need to speak often do so because they want approval or attention. They want others to notice them or agree with them. But individuals who are confident do not feel this pressure. They are comfortable with silence. They understand that they do not need to prove themselves in every moment. This calm confidence often attracts respect from others. Silence also helps you control conversations. When you listen more than you speak, other people reveal their thoughts, ideas, and intentions more freely. They often speak longer and share more information than they intended. This gives you a deeper understanding of the situation. Instead of dominating the conversation, you guide it quietly by listening and choosing the right moment to speak. Another powerful effect of silence is that it reduces unnecessary mistakes. People who talk too quickly sometimes say things they later regret. They may reveal private information, express opinions too strongly, or say something without fully thinking about it. But silence protects you from these mistakes. When you speak less, you have more time to think about your words before saying them. This leads to clearer and more thoughtful communication. Silence also creates an image of wisdom. Throughout history, wise individuals have often been known for speaking carefully and thoughtfully rather than speaking constantly. When someone chooses their words carefully, others assume that those words are important. Because of this, their influence becomes stronger. Silence also encourages others to respect your presence. People who speak constantly often compete for attention, but individuals who remain calm and quiet create a different type of presence. Their calm behavior often draws people's attention naturally. Others begin to see them as thoughtful, observant, and emotionally balanced. Over time, this reputation increases trust and respect. Another advantage of silence is that it gives your mind time to analyze situations more deeply. Instead of reacting immediately, you observe the conversation and understand different perspectives. When you finally speak, your response often becomes more intelligent and meaningful. This thoughtful approach makes people value your opinions even more. The truth is simple. Respect does not come from speaking the most words. Respect comes from speaking the right words at the right time. When you learn to remain silent until your words truly matter, your voice becomes more powerful. People listen more carefully. Your influence grows stronger, and your presence carries greater weight. And that is why silence, when used wisely, can become one of the greatest sources of personal power. Lesson 6. Silence improves your thinking and decision-making. Another powerful reason silence can be your greatest weapon is that silence improves your thinking. In today's world, people are constantly surrounded by noise. There are endless conversations, social media opinions, news, messages, and distractions everywhere. Because of this constant noise, many people rarely give their mind the quiet time it needs to think clearly. When the mind is always busy reacting to outside voices, it becomes difficult to think deeply. People begin to make quick decisions without carefully analyzing the situation. But silence creates space for clear thinking. When you remain quiet and allow your mind to slow down, your brain begins to process information more carefully. You can examine situations from different angles, understand problems more clearly, and discover better solutions. Silence gives your mind the opportunity to organize thoughts. Imagine a glass of water that is constantly being shaken. The water inside becomes cloudy and unclear. But if you stop shaking the glass and allow it to rest, the water slowly becomes clear again. The human mind works in a similar way. When your mind is constantly reacting to noise and distractions, your thoughts become scattered. But when you allow moments of silence, your thoughts settle and become clearer. This clarity improves decision-making. Many mistakes in life happen because people react too quickly. They respond emotionally without thinking carefully about the consequences of their actions. For example, someone might make an important decision while feeling angry, excited, or stressed. These emotions can cloud judgment and lead to poor choices. Silence helps you pause before reacting. When you remain silent for a moment, you give your mind time to calm down. This pause allows logic and reasoning to guide your decision instead of temporary emotions. Wise individuals often take time to think before responding. Instead of answering immediately, they listen, observe, and reflect. This thoughtful approach leads to better solutions and more intelligent responses. Another benefit of silence is that it strengthens concentration. When your mind becomes quiet, it can focus more deeply on one problem or idea. This deeper focus allows you to analyze information carefully and discover connections between ideas. Many great thinkers and innovators throughout history valued quiet time because it allowed them to think creatively and clearly. Silence also improves self-awareness. When you spend time in silence, you begin to notice your own thoughts more clearly. You can reflect on your goals, your habits, and your decisions. This reflection helps you understand yourself better. Self-awareness is extremely important for personal growth. When you understand your thoughts and emotions, you can control them more effectively. Another powerful advantage of silence is that it reduces mental stress. Constant noise and stimulation can make the brain feel overwhelmed, but silence allows the mind to relax and recover. A relaxed mind becomes more creative, more focused, and more capable of solving complex problems. Even short moments of silence during the day can refresh your mental energy. For example, taking a few quiet minutes to breathe deeply, reflect, or simply sit without distractions can improve clarity and concentration. Over time, this habit strengthens your ability to think calmly and wisely in difficult situations. The truth is simple. The best decisions often come from a calm and quiet mind. When you allow yourself moments of silence, your thoughts become clearer, your concentration improves, and your decisions become wiser. In a noisy world where many people react quickly without thinking, the person who values silence gains a powerful advantage. And that quiet mind becomes one of the strongest tools for success, clarity, and wise decision-making in life. Lesson 7. Silence builds inner power and self-control. The final lesson about why silence is your greatest weapon is that silence builds inner power. True strength does not always come from loud words or constant reactions. Real strength comes from self-control. Many people believe that responding to everything shows confidence. They feel the need to defend themselves, explain their opinions, or react to every situation around them. But constantly reacting actually shows a lack of control. When someone reacts to every comment, every insult, or every disagreement, it means their emotions are being controlled by other people. Silence changes this completely. When you choose silence, you take control of your reactions. Instead of allowing others to control your emotions, you decide how you respond. This ability is called self-discipline. Self-discipline is one of the most powerful qualities a person can develop. It means having the strength to control your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Silence trains this discipline. Every time you choose not to react immediately, you strengthen your mental control. You prove to yourself that you are capable of staying calm even when situations become difficult. Over time, this creates inner power. Inner power means having confidence that comes from within. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself in every conversation or defend yourself against every criticism. Your actions become more important than your words. Another powerful benefit of silence is that it reduces unnecessary drama in life. Many people create problems simply by reacting too quickly. Small disagreements turn into large conflicts because people keep adding more words to the situation. But silence stops this chain reaction. When you remain calm and silent, many problems simply disappear on their own. This peaceful approach protects your mental energy and emotional balance. Silence also teaches patience. Patience means understanding that not everything requires an immediate response. Some situations become clearer with time. When you stay silent and patient, you allow events to unfold naturally. Often the truth reveals itself without the need for arguments or explanations. This patience gives you a powerful advantage. While others react impulsively, you remain calm and thoughtful. Silence also strengthens your confidence. People who constantly seek attention through words often depend on approval from others. But when you are comfortable with silence, it shows that you do not need constant validation. You trust your own value. This quiet confidence often attracts respect from others. People begin to see you as someone who is emotionally balanced and mentally strong. Another powerful aspect of silence is that it gives your actions more meaning. When someone talks constantly about their plans, their opinions, and their intentions, people eventually stop paying attention. But when someone speaks less and focuses more on action, their achievements become more noticeable. Instead of explaining your success, you demonstrate it. Over time, people respect those who act more and speak less. Silence also creates space for self-reflection. When you spend quiet moments with your thoughts, you begin to understand yourself better. You can analyze your habits, your decisions, and your goals. This reflection helps you grow stronger mentally and emotionally. Many great thinkers, leaders, and successful individuals value quiet time because it allows them to connect with their inner thoughts. Silence becomes a place where clarity and wisdom grow. The truth is simple. In a noisy world where many people react without thinking, the person who masters silence develops a powerful advantage. Silence builds discipline, strengthens confidence, and protects emotional balance. It allows your actions to speak louder than your words. And when your actions become stronger than your words, your presence becomes powerful without needing to say much at all. That quiet strength is what truly makes silence one of the greatest weapons a person can have. If you enjoyed this video and found these ideas helpful, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful lessons about mindset, personal growth, and success. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.